Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here. Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight in this experiment in creative faith. My name is Luke Stringer. I'm an associate pastor here at Plymouth through Plymouth's Transition into Ministry, or TIM, program. And on behalf of Plymouth Church and the TIM Committee, who are sponsoring tonight's event, welcome. And again, thank you. We're going to see and hear what the Holy Spirit might be up to in the music and conversation we have in store tonight. When Berit and Jamie and I were brainstorming this event, we agreed it would be best to let the music begin and end our time together. In between, they've generously agreed to humor my curiosity with a time of questions and conversation, to delve deeper into their own creative practice, the spiritual dimensions of their songwriting, and how they understand the art of the sacred. Before we begin, I'd invite you all to please turn off your cell phones or silence them, and to engage with the music in whatever way feels most natural. You might want to close your eyes. You might want to raise your hands. You might want to clap or snap or get up and move. Please do. Do any or all or none or some other secret third thing that I don't yet know about. Just please be mindful of your fellow audience members and our musicians. Little Systems is the musical project of Berit Goetz and Jamie Doherty, who will be sharing selections from their forthcoming debut album, I Was a Deer. Drawing inspiration from Psalm 42, the record explores a musical coming of age. And like the deer in the psalm, we will find music that yearns viscerally for an encounter with the divine. Music that is intimate and profound, honest about struggle, and ultimately, absolutely soaked with the holy. Without further ado, please give a warm Plymouth and Des Moines welcome to Little Systems.
I was a deer heart. I was a free heart, free for the taking, free for the making, something of nothing. That's what I do best, something from nothing. It's nothing, it's nothing. Everyone likes me, but nobody knows me. No one would choose me, least of all somebody like you. I didn't question, love's an audition. What part am I cast for? in your high drama, death of the West or death of a dreamer, saga where only you get to be heard. No one would want this, no one would choose this. I should know better. I was a vacant lot, lying fallow, ready to write my next B-side ballad, ready to be heard, ready to follow, forcing a smile while my heart's ringing hollow. Am I free to go now? Am I free to go now? You were a north wind, threatening rain you never delivered. Drops in the desert, darts in your quiver. I'm not afraid, I sleep with my windows open wide, and I was a deer running hard for the water. You were the half-hearted hunter who caught her, stripped to the bone. No, why would you bother? You've got an easier way if you want it. Say I'm free to go now. Say I'm free to go now. I'm free to go now.
Thank you. Plymouth Church and Des Moines friends, we're so excited to be here. We're Little Systems. We're on tour from Nashville. This is the second evening of our 4-week tour. So I said to Pastor Luke earlier, I think that because of the beauty of this room, we're not going to sound any better than we do tonight. So thank you for being with us in this beautiful space. We're really grateful to share this evening with you. We have a record coming out in a few weeks called I Was a Deer. And as we were thinking about some of the central concerns that really animated this writing process together, one of the phrases that came up was digital undertow. And there's so much about being a human right now and maybe being online at all. Even if you're not online, there's so many opportunities for our central nervous systems to be activated all the time. And there's so many opportunities for reactivity without responsiveness, and for proximity to information without any real transformation or agency. And one of my yearnings as a person, learning how to be a person more and more every day, is to be fully alive to everything that is human, and to not be a sum total of the tabs I've never closed. So I'd like to share this next song with you in witness to that, maybe that hope, that prayer. The song is called Cash.
Stuck in traffic, you pull out your phone, muscle memory Soon as you're alone, thumb through sameness, nameless fantasy, digital undertow, drown you in apathy.
Internet traffic, your advert revenue, body data archive, your scroll in the afternoon, neural interceptors, rerouting desire lines, algorithmic engines, encrypting your private lives.
Accept the terms without knowing the conditions. I am a human in a recursive simulation. Accept the
Traffic,
without knowing the conditions. I am a human in a recursive simulation, stuck in traffic. You pull out your phone, muscle memory. Soon as you're alone, cashing in on all the tabs you never close, digital undertow.
Thank you. Ooh, who's deleting Instagram after this concert? Meet me in the back. Y'all, we just put out a song. It's the first single off our record. It's called Blood from a Stone. And one of the things we like to do is read. And there's a poem by W.H. Auden called September 1st, 1939. It has this beautiful line. It's kind of a poem. What can you say what a poem is about? I'm going to. It's a poem kind of about feeling the darkness closing in around you and wondering how to be human amidst that. And one of the hardest things about being human is knowing how much of yourself to give away. So the song engages a little bit with that reality.
like blood from a stone. I'm red, I'm salt on your tongue, tight pressed till I come undone. like ships in the night. Not one of the coming eyes torn through in the morning light. Wish I hadn't told you about my favorite poem. Two children haunted in a world never been happy, never good. Keep reaching out to take my hand. You don't seem to understand why I never could. Like waves in the sea, small tremors swell deep in me, capsize where we began instantly. Wish I hadn't told you I was getting lonely. Two children haunted in a world never been happy, never good. Keep reaching out to take my hand. You don't seem to understand. Two children lost and in the dark, wasting our time, missing the mark. Keep trying to lead me by the hand. You don't seem to understand. We've no idea where we are. I'm always half drunk, half heartbroken. I'm always hunted by your old hungry heart. I'm always fending off the moments. I let the lights go down on this sad dance of ours. Thank you. Any T.S. Eliot fans in the house? Any T.S. Eliot haters in the house? Oh my gosh, we'll talk about this in the car on the way home. T.S. Eliot he's a little bit of a complicated man, but aren't we all? He's a modernist poet, and he wrote a poem whose title translates to The Girl Who's Weeping, or Girl Weeping. And it's a mysterious story. And there's something there about nostalgia, and there's something there about wondering what could have been, wondering about contingency, wondering about the way love finds us or doesn't. So we wrote a setting for this poem. height of the stair. Weave the sunlight in your hair. Weave the sunlight in your hair. Clasp your flowers to you with a pained surprise. Fugitive resentment in your eyes. Weave the sunlight in your hair. Leave as the soul leaves the body torn and bruised. As the mind deserts the body it has used. And you have been used. Some way we both should understand. Simple as a smile, faithless as the shaking of a hand. You still compel me, don't you, dear? My minutes and my hours, your hair over your arms, and your arms full of flowers. And I wonder how we should have been together.
Thank you.
This afternoon, I had to catch my breath so I wouldn't cry, 'cause it's you again, again, again. I confess I'm surprised I still had it. This afternoon, Prince Andre died at last of his injuries. It's a wound sustained so long ago. Didn't know it was killing him. I promise my sister to my oldest redoubt, 'cause I need you to wound me again. This afternoon, I had an original thought. Then I laid it on the altar of my breaking heart. She's the hungriest God I still have it in me. I still have it in me. I still have it in me for you. Thought this would be easy. After all, we like our space. It's never a problem when we lose each other at parties. I'll find you in a corner with a boy who is sadder, telling you how he can't believe in God anymore. And I love this about you, how everybody who meets you can unburden themselves before your gentleness. Thought this would be easy. Find a doctor in this town, someone who can tell us why your hair is falling out, while you wake in the morning with hands that are burning, while you can't play guitar or hold me close anymore. And I wanna be with you, wish I could take this thing from you. When I pray, I say, God, take me instead. 'Cause I don't wanna dance, I don't wanna dance, I don't wanna dance with anybody but you. It's Tuesday night again and you're already in bed, and I'm wondering what I should do. I know I should be selfless, but I'm not. And so instead of feeling helpless, I buy another round, let somebody spin me round. I'm wishing it was you, and I wanna cry loud. When we were in school, you were the high scorer on the team. Now we're both losing at a game whose rules mean nothing to me. You come home from a day of making and collapse in the dark, just as I light up like a wildfire. And my whole life is like a loaded gun about to go off. I don't wanna dance, I don't wanna dance, I don't wanna dance with anybody but you. It's Tuesday night again and we already in bed, and I'm wondering if that's really true. I know I shouldn't drink so much. I know I shouldn't let this touch me. No, the real me is buried in that darkened bedroom where you lie but I buy another round, let somebody spin me around. I'm wishing it was you, and I wanna cry loud.
Thank you. We have one more song to play, and then we'll invite Pastor Luke up for some conversation. I think there are limits to autobiography, and that there are limits to writing art to express yourself, but those are important parts of the human experience too. So our last song for this first part of the program is called Beatitude, and it does come from our life to yours.
I'm not bringing you a steady flame. I'm not saying you're the one to blame. I am weak, but this weak woman loves you. I can't touch you with an unstained hand. Can't promise I've done everything I can.
I'll sit on this side, how about, and you guys sit next to each other. Again, thank you all for joining us. That was so beautiful, guys.
Thanks.
It sounds really cool in here. I just wanted to, while we have the luxury of having you here as working artists, as people who spend a lot of your time thinking about making art, as people of Christian faith, I just wanted to pick your brains. And I hope you guys will humor me with maybe being a little self-interested in my questions. Question one is a question of origins. And I'm wondering if each of you have specific memories about realizing you could write music. And what was that like? And what has kept you writing music since that point?
We're going to have really different answers, I think. We haven't talked about this, but I'll go first. When I was a child, I did not consider myself creative, and I didn't really know how to access creativity very well. I was kind of a sports guy, and I didn't say I was good. That's what I did. Yeah. Oh, here we are. Yes. So it wasn't until high school when I met some older, cool musicians who were seniors, and they were making incredible music, and I just wanted to do what they were doing, and I tried, and it was bad, and it was really tough, but I wanted it. I wanted what they had because I could see something really beautiful, and so I kept ramming my head against the wall or the piano, and yeah, I think I really willed my way into creativity because I saw something that was really beautiful and something that was really meaning-making in their lives, and I didn't have a lot of meaning in my life at that point, or I didn't know how to make sense of things, and so creativity was, and specifically art making was. One more thing, and I'll let Berit talk. I think my approach was wrong because I had thought that creativity was exclusively self-expression, and I was like, well, I'm a kid that just has a normal life. I don't have anything to express. Like, no one cares. But when the more I tried to do that and nothing good was coming out, I soon discovered that art making, for me, became a mode of inquiry and a mode of discovery, and that some real deep spiritual things happen when you start making art in a way that's open to the spirit. What you got?
I love hearing Jamie talk about his path into art making because it's such a confirmation of what I've come to understand, but I think I didn't understand as a kid, which is that curiosity and desire are a lot more important than talent. And I guess I started writing music when I was probably 3 or 4, and I felt like the piano has been an extension of my body, like another limb, since about then. But I remember having a really profound encounter with Bach, actually, changing piano teachers in elementary school, and she put me on to Bach's Invention in D minor, Invention number 4 in D minor. And I just felt like the shades fell from my eyes and the scales fell from my eyes. And that piece really inspired me to start notating music. And in adulthood, I have been on a journey of learning how to do different things that aren't intuitive, and not saying yes to the intuitive, easy thing first. So I'm a very beginner guitar player, and I could be in a band with like 9-year-old punks and comport myself very well, I think.
That's awesome. I think I want to see the 9-year-old punk band with Berit and Jamie in it. The connection between this new record and Psalm 42, with the panting deer and this hunger for meaning and connection to the holy. You know, for me, it wasn't the only psalm that came to mind listening. I kept thinking of Psalm 96, which begins, "Oh, sing to the Lord a new song. Sing to the Lord all the earth." And it's, as songwriters, I feel like you really live into that instruction in a very literal way. And I'm just wondering if you think about that at all, and how, say more about that, if you will.
I love that question so much. In the run-up to this tour, we're getting to collaborate with a lot of different artists. Krista Tippett of On Being tonight. But in a couple days, we'll be in Montana for 2 shows with a singer-songwriter named John Hermanson. He's probably more well-known in my country of origin, St. Paul, Minnesota. He's a Minneapolis and Montana singer-songwriter who, for most of his career, and I promise I'm getting to your question, for most of his career has been playing in rock clubs and playing music that no one would identify as sacred or liturgical music. And we're doing some Nashville-style writers' rounds with him, so we'll be alternating, sharing pieces, and talking a little bit about the stories behind each song. And as we were on a Zoom call a couple days ago, planning our set lists, and I kind of asked him, because these days he's an artist in residence at a church, and I asked him, you know, what's going to be the center of gravity of what you share? And he said something that has just been living in my brain rent-free. He said, well, I want to say everything. And I think part of the tension of not just being an artist, being a person, is that you contain all these contraries that don't seem to fit together. And there's a longing for every part of your experience, including your spirituality and what's happening outside of the inner life, to be integrated. And there's a sense of fracture. There's not integration. And if I were to name like one theme in my writing and also just my growing up, it's longing for integration, longing to be able to say everything. And specifically for, I won't say Christian art, but art that's made by people of faith, to be able to say everything. And I think a lot of the time it doesn't. And I don't just level that at other artists. I think of times when I haven't said everything in my music because I was scared, or I didn't think it would be appropriate for the people who maybe I most needed to be honest with. So that's how I think about singing a new song to the Lord. Maybe the new song is being brave enough to, or open enough to, say everything.
We'll let that one hang. Do you think of what you guys do as Little Systems as a ministry? Because I know you have experience leading congregational worship in the Episcopal Church. It's okay. They're safe here, I promise. But I just am aware that it can be a difference between singing music as performance and singing music as worship. And I'm wondering where Little Systems falls somewhere in that broader constellation of music making.
Ministry was the word. And yes, I think not from my Episcopal church background, but from my hardcore punk background, which I was involved in Chicago, much to my great surprise. I didn't think that was going to happen, didn't like that music, but it happened to me, and I grew to love it. And one of the things that was most surprising about it was how incredibly supportive, how incredibly inclusive, and beautiful the community was in like what they call aggressive music. Virtually every concert was an all ages space because kids need somewhere to be, especially in Chicago, especially kids that are on the outside. They need also all the shows were all ages. They were all substance free. They were safe. They were just everyone was so invested in each other and supportive. And I take that with me everywhere I go in music. I want to continue that legacy wherever I am, and I see it as a ministry because it's the thing that music did in that community was it brought people on the outside in together and gave them something really beautiful to do together and something that really supported each other. And I think that's mostly what ministering is. You would know better than me.
They're forgetting that I'm a baby pastor, and so I'm also figuring out what ministry is.
As the petty bourgeois member of Little Systems, I was not involved in the punk scene in Chicago.
Not yet.
There's still time. There's still time.
I hate to say it. Well, there we go. I hate to say it, and I'm chuckling, but this isn't facetious. The whole story of our creative partnership has just been me slowly slipping into deeper into the punk ethos, which I think is really important for the reasons that you mentioned. I've been thinking about this question quite a bit. I struggle to see this project, or I struggle to see music making as ministry. And I wonder if I'm bringing some of my own little allergies to ideological allergies to this question. Before I was kind of a full-time freelance musician, I was a music director at a church, and there were many things that I loved about that and people that I adore, and actually things that I loved about that. But one thing I really struggled with, getting back to the theme of integration, was, after the service, because this was a wonderful, warm church, people would often express their thankfulness for my ministry. And it was always at those moments when I became keenly aware of whenever I felt like I was giving something to other people that I didn't have myself. And so it felt disingenuous in some way or disintegrated in some way. But you posed this question to us earlier and kind of floated the idea of, well, if Little Systems isn't ministry, is it something else? Is it worship? And that feels very resonant to me. It actually feels, Rilke, I don't really like Rilke that much, but he does have one line that I've been thinking of. He's writing about a bird whose voice is a single voice being flung into brightness. And you listen, and at first it's beautiful, and then you don't realize that it's actually a cry of pain. And sometimes sharing music feels like flinging your voice into brightness, and there's a beauty and an exaltation. And sometimes it's a cry of pain, but it's something beyond yourself. And so if worship is just the reaching out or the longing to have faith, even if you don't have it, and that actually constitutes your faith, the desire, not the possession, then I think music making is worship.
I felt like I was worshiping listening to you guys earlier. So, what some of our lovely guests this evening might not know is that we know each other from when we both lived in New Haven, Connecticut, in my former life when I was working for an architecture office, and would go spend intermittent Thursday evenings at your guys' apartment listening to entire albums in total silence all the way through, phones away over tea. And I'm wondering if you could talk more about family time, as it was called, and especially for people who aren't yet songwriters themselves, how listening to other artists' work just shapes what you do, and how people who might never make music but who love music and appreciate music, like how can we become better listeners? And how did you train your ear to listen well and listen intentionally to music?
Yeah, good question. So I spent a lot of time listening to music when I met those cool older musicians in high school. And I don't know, I think part of me thought if I listen to enough music, then I'll know how to do it or something. But I also just really fell in love with listening to music, and I fell in love with paying attention to it. I think it's, it's like so many great works of art. The more that you look at it, the more you start noticing, oh, wow, he was using the brown paint there. And I had no idea that was contributing to this beautiful green that I'm getting from back here. The more that you look at, a flower, anything, there's such beauty in this world. There's so many details that we are just not taking in all the time, all around us. And I think that paying attention to music starting when I was in high school, and just sort of noticing how many things are happening all at the same time. And a lot of them are really cool. And it's cool how they create harmonies together and interlock rhythms and all that sort of thing. And that has deeply shaped, who I am today. So yeah, after college, I started a thing where every week I would make tea, we would put on a record, we would just listen to it, and then we would talk about it. And part of it was a selfish, I want to talk about music with people. And I want to talk about it in a deeper way than just oh, have you heard this band? Yeah, they sound like that band. I'm very uninterested in that. I want to talk about what's going on in the music. And I thought, okay, maybe I can get people to talk about what's going on with me, and they can tell me all the things that they noticed that I didn't notice, and then I'll like my album that I already like more. So that was my secret ploy, and it worked really well.
Can confirm it worked really well.
Yeah, but I think originally how I trained myself to listen was honestly I would try and just follow one instrument the whole song. That would be a little challenge to myself. I'd have my headphones on in the minivan on my way to school, and I'd be I'm going to try and just listen to what the bass guitar is doing this whole song. And I didn't know at first. I was I could barely even tell what's going on. But the more I just sort of tried to focus on a detail at a time, I think it taught me how to listen to all kinds of genres.
But something I love about family time is that it doesn't require expertise, just presence. And something that Jamie shares at the beginning of every family time gathering. For the last couple of years in Nashville, we've been doing it on Sunday nights. Something that you've been sharing, Jamie, is welcome to family time. You don't have to have something smart to say about the music. You don't have to like it. You don't have to have an incisive critique. You can say something, you can say nothing. And if all you have to say is, I didn't like it, that is actually okay. And we've found, both in the New Haven, Connecticut season of family time and the Nashville family time, that the people who come to family time are the people that need family time. And it's not always musicians who come. Sometimes it is, and people have really cool things to say about the EQ and the bass, but like, usually it's people who want a space to do the things family time is about, which there are 3 rules. I don't know if we shared that. We're quiet during the record, so we hold off on talking until the record is over. We take off our shoes, which cultivates a nice little homey atmosphere. And the 3rd rule is that we will make you tea. And having a rule of, actually, this is something we do for you, and you can just receive, has been really transformative for a lot of our relationships with our neighbors who come. And it makes me think about all the ways that, you know, any of us could host a family time, and it doesn't have to be around expertise. It can be just around presence.
That feels like a beautiful word to end this portion of the evening on. Again, thanks for your insights and for inviting me to family time so many years ago. We're going to get back to making some music. I think you guys have a few more songs for us.
We will share just 3 more songs with you this evening. And yeah, I think there's one thing I wanted to say as we move into our next song. Do you have one more question, maybe?
I do. It's about what... It's a question about... I was going to ask if you have any advice for people who are wanting to be courageous in challenging what the sacred means when it comes to music, especially in coming from a more traditional background. How do you think of the music you make as sacred or not sacred?
That's exactly where we're going next.
Great.
I'll just super briefly share one of the little lanes that we've been navigating as working artists is the God lane and the not God lane. Or I don't know if there is a not God lane, but the liturgical lane and the not liturgical lane. And I've had opportunity to do a little bit of writing with an ecumenical worship collective called the Porter's Gate. And the next song we're going to share with you all is a song that landed on a 2023 record that the Porter's Gate put out. It's called Sanctuary Songs. And the project is all songs that are trying to give language to communities of faith that want to have language around mental health and flourishing in their communities. And it's going to be special to share this piece because it's the only Christian song I've ever written, or the only explicitly Christian song. And as we share it with you, I'd love to. I think I would love for it to minister to you, if that's possible. It's probably not up to me. But then after that, we're going to share another hymn that feels like a hymn of much more of our heart language and maybe is less legible as a song that might be sung in a church. But yeah, I mean, welcome to family time. Take off your shoes if you want. And Luke, thank you so much for your questions.
Thanks, Luke.
Thanks, guys.
one of the reasons this song does feel true to that wholeness or that desire for integration is that it's very much a song that I needed to hear at the time. And it takes inspiration from the Gospel of Matthew. Come, all who are weary and heavy laden, for I will give you rest.
We drove out to the lake, me and my revenge buddy. Burned my brain at the stake, purged the me from my revenge buddy. body. With the good that you do, you heap coals on their head, 'cause you love them to life instead of wishing them dead. But I want them to pay. Look at my revenge body. No, he's not doing well. He's got a revenge body. Cells attacking themselves, taking their revenge body. Flaring up in the night next to me, and in the void I am blind. Where is his hand? Is he waving or drowning a sign from his revenge body? When you hung on that cross, that was your revenge body. Gave yourself up for loss, that was your revenge on me. Your love who left you to shine, stripped you naked. Wise philosophers claim that you faked it. They're selling souvenirs of your grave, where they laid their revenge body. Now I kneel at the front, tasting you on my tongue, and I pray to be raised in the world that will come. Can you help me believe love is my revenge only? We have one more song for you this evening. It's called Little Systems. And I wrote this song after, it was 2016. It's an old song. And at that time, you might remember that the reality of police violence against Black American bodies, which had always been a reality, was starting to become legible to those of us who are white and don't experience that. And I was in Wisconsin for work, and a teenage girl was beaten by police while I was there. And there's just this sense of crying out, and not a crying out that puts a inspirational bow, or the bow of the resurrection, and wraps everything up tight, but just a sense of reaching out for something that tells the truth. And Flannery O'Connor has this great line about how it's hard to have faith. Even at the best of times, it's hard to have faith, and maybe even more so now. And it's important for some people to explore what life would be like without it. And that is part of their faith. That itself is faith, to seriously consider what life would be like without it. So before we close, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing this evening with us. Thank you for being here. I hope that you'll find something to take away and nourish you this week. We're so grateful to the team at Plymouth Church for having us, and especially for Pastor Luke, dear friend, fellow artist, kindred spirit. We love you a lot. Thank you all for being with us. little systems have their day. They have their day and cease to be. They are but broken lights of thee. And thou, Lord, art more than they. Unless the kernel falls to earth, death has no hope of giving birth. Longing to love you, longing to live again. I have a sorrow in my heart, sorrow and the bitter rain. Hope is a bird that's wintering beneath the wordless wounded mark. You have a glory will flame out. Death has no sting to boast about. Longing to love you, longing to live again. When a great stillness falls on earth, when oceans flee, horizons meet, when we emerge to starlit streets, bones breathing their stony birds. Earth has her hope in heaven too. Death swallowed up in me and you. Now do you know me? Now do you know my name?
Thank you. Go in peace.
I forgot to say, our record is coming out in November, but we have secret CDs of the record in our hands over there. So you can meet me over there. I can give you a CD if you want a CD. Or just come talk to us. Thanks, everyone.